think Ashok Mishra ji is the chief. Yeah. Ashok Mishra, Sujit Kumar. So Sujit also is part of Project Saraswati.
Yes, sir.
He's coming again. So I mean, Project Saraswati said, we'll give you some money to cover your guest house expenses, a little bit of travel, and you donate your time. So Sujit has come twice, and this Ram Mohan has come 3 times from California, and we are just asking alumni to donate time. We anyway ask for Project Lakshmi, but this is Project Saraswati. So thank you very much, and Sujit is in touch with us. He is coming, in fact, after a few weeks.
I have something, because during this interaction with the students, even during the SDR, we found that, the interaction between faculty and the students is slowly decreasing. It has been a great concern. In fact, I was talking to, so this is in fact, while we are talking about, as you said that there are some people, 200 are highly interested in sports, and what about the Latino? So they are all resources of the country, they are resources for the institute also. We must in fact look into and address very carefully, because it should not become cancerous. It is going to become cancerous because even all the other activities, the suicidal attempts and all that, we must invest some amount, some time, whether it is alumni or the experts. Let us have the best experts in the country and address this problem as early as possible.
Harish?
Yes. Yeah, this goes along with what I was talking to you about in terms of holistic training. Because what happens is, within our 5 years' time, there was tremendous pressure for the curriculum. And many of us, at the cost of the curriculum, we manage the extracurricular activities. Now, as I understand, the same thing compressed in 4 years makes the pressure even more. And whatever everyone is doing is doing it in spite of the system, which is quite creative. But the idea is, what is the system doing to facilitate that? For example, if you can bring some of the things which are needed for the well-being nearer to the students in a way that they don't have to fight out for the common resources, okay, it becomes much better. For example, the gym facilities. If you have a common thing, that's fine, but how many of the students will tread to a distant place? If it is there as a part of a common amenity in each hall, that essentially becomes much better in this thing. So like that, there are a number of things which can be done, which are today needed for a holistic kind of upbringing, in this thing, of grooming of the students, which essentially has to be done in a diffuse manner, where per hostel kind of thing, it's got to be a hostel-centric kind of thing. And I think we must have thought about it, but we all can contribute.
You can also look into the possibility of creating a site, where some kind of children they can put their problems. And if the alumni can answer, you can attach, let's say, 100 people to certain alumni, and they can give the answer. It has to be addressed quickly, it has to be feasible. It should not remain to just a discussion level. And I think probably the present communication better than whatever we are talking about.
Before I respond, would anyone want to comment on this issue? Lack of physical interaction with students, with faculty.
Moreover, I think the point which Mohan is making is more to do with the local facility which is easily accessible.
Yeah, but I would like to also add to that the faculty-student interaction aspect. I am today still in good touch with some of my professors from the past, like Professor K.R. Sharma, who is still active, and Dr. S. Malik, who was still recently around. Okay, now the point is that the excellent relations were developed in a two-way kind of thing. We had visited the homes, okay, they had invited me. It was as good as something by which they cared, we cared, and they participated in a number of different events which we have, cultural festivals and other things. Now, I think the student and faculty ratio has become even more skewed. So, I don't know what you people have done in order to kind of eliminate that gap which comes in.
Okay, I'll try to answer. Probably this is precisely what I said when I made a remark about sports facility, a distributed sports facility, where if I feel like playing badminton, I shouldn't be asked to go through a series of steps, by then I lose my interest. So we have distributed to an extent sports facility in each of the hostels. A hostel may have a gym, other hostel may have something else. It depends on the students. Some students would like to have basketball as their their own sort of called hall level sports facility. Some would prefer, no, we want a fatta ground, that's it. Don't put anything, just a plain ground and three, sort of rectangular track that is good enough for us. So we usually listen to the students. So we try to encourage this, the students to participate at the hostel level, and in that direction, we also have inter-hostel, intra-hostel competition, sports competition. We know they do a lot of academic related things, but sports is something which brings people together. That's what we are observing. When people come on the playground, somehow when the goal is about to be made, something happens. And that is probably one of the greatest stress busters. So that's my personal conviction also. Though I was not a sportsman at all, but I know how it happens when I'm playing occasionally. Sometimes when I play with my students, they make sure that I don't lose always. But it's a great joy. Even if I really win a point out of my merit, that joy, that adrenaline rush I go through, it is a wonderful experience. So we believe in that. We try to do it as much as possible. The other one is interaction between faculty and student. Yes, I still remember my days. Today I had Professor Mathur, I don't know how many of you remember him. NC Mathur was my teacher. Yeah, you remember him, yeah. He is here now, he is in campus. He
You must meet him.
So he's taught all of us. Or at least the busy guys. Busy guys.
Yeah, he is, I think, leaving tomorrow. He's leaving for US tomorrow. So he was in my home today morning. We had breakfast. So
You did not
So he's also.
sorry
yeah.
to interrupt, but many of us would like to know how to meet him.
Is he staying?
Okay, I'll call him up and then I'll try. Yeah, he's on
You can
campus.
invite him for lunch with us.
Why don't we say?
No, what I'm trying to share with you is the kind of sentiments you have. I also have the same sentiments. So it's no different at all. So when my student got into civil services, the first thing he did was he sent me a mail saying, Shashi Ranjan, if you remember him, he said, I remember the day in first year, he came to my office and said he wants to do civil services. I said, don't worry about that. Do well here, study well. And it becomes, once you do well, you will be able to get in whatever you want. And then he says, yeah, I still remember, so he did both well, in academics as well as in his career. So I also believe personally that interaction is very important. Going back in time, 80s, if we all remember our 80s, when television got introduced, we had a similar fear. Suddenly we could see the number of people playing on the streets went down. People would get glued to na 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 na. So that was very normal. So we would watch starting till the end sometimes, the Doordarshan program, the only channel we would get. Now we have a similar fear with internet. People have stopped talking. It has come to a stage where you all remember your roommates, right? Now the students don't recognize their roommates by the face. But they know their Facebook ID. They are recognized by the Facebook. So that is how it's growing. And we are also talking about, I didn't say that, IIT Kanpur or thing, but people are talking about online education, MOOC kind of thing. We are trying to create a digital pervasive environment where we are trying to see how information can be conveyed without the presence of a human being. On the contrary, we are not able to handle that human-human relationship also. Yes, any thoughts, any ideas, how this both can be managed together? Basically, we want to have a world we get the best of both the worlds. Yeah, I really appreciate, I welcome from you all. I'm here today looking forward to these ideas. I think
In the olden days, there used to be sort of a faculty guide identified, at least for the initial pages.
Right.
Does that exist?
Yes, it exists now. Those days, we used to have a faculty advisor or faculty guide for 5 or 6 students or the first year students, and they could come from any department. Now we are trying a model where those 5, 6 students or 10 students or 12 students will be from the same department, so that the guide can also advise apart from non-academic, even academic matters as well. Yes, we are trying out some better models we think. If it doesn't work, we'll go back to the old model, no problem.
Ukar, you want to say something about faculty-student interaction? You are a civilized person. Civil engineering.
I would like to say from my own experience as student. I did my BTech and MTech from Roorkee, and Professor N.C. Mathur was the first non-Roorkee Vice Chancellor at Roorkee. So imagine when I was doing MTech those days there, he joined us. It was a big change in the university, and fortunately I was involved in a lot of student-related activities. I was General Secretary Cultural Society there, and as well as student Vice President. So the environment was very different. Probably I didn't want to go to any other place other than Roorkee even after finishing my higher education. That was the kind of attachment that I had with that place. At that time, I wanted to have leave from Roorkee, that I'll go to do my PhD and come back and join Roorkee. Professor Mathur said, no, you just go, you fly, whatever you want to do. If you want to come back and join Roorkee, we'll take you. If you don't want to join, want to go some other place, that is also fine with us. But this time, just think about flying freely. That is most important. So he didn't give me leave. Maybe for some time I felt upset, but then I thought that he was a different person, what he really communicated to me. So after finishing PhD, when I joined this place, he said, he was the one who I knew the most as Vice Chancellor at Roorkee. He knew most of the students who are involved in different activities by name and face, everything he knew about them. When I went to him in electrical engineering, he said, oh, it's very nice that you have joined it. Change the environment of this place. That was his comment. Because he realized that even at Roorkee, I think faculty-student interaction probably was much better than what he had witnessed here at Kanpur. And I thought, yes, probably for 3-4 years I continued in several students' activities. I started directing plays and all that. But then I realized that maybe environment is a little different. And I kept thinking that Roorkee environment is very different, very different. But few days back when I went to Roorkee back, and I discussed with faculty, said, same problem. Whatever you are saying about Kanpur, the same thing has really entered even at Roorkee. Students are not interacting. So they are not visiting our home. I think the faculty member used to get food from student messes because the food used to be so good. And I personally remember carrying several times tiffins from messes to the faculty houses because they used to love that food. And they would come and sit with students in the mess. So I think fortunately I also had an opportunity to interact with students also here as head of the counseling service. And whatever I learned at Roorkee, I thought, okay, I want to be close to students because that's the only thing that I love, interacting and talking with students. But yes, what we have noticed that with PG students, it is absolutely one-to-one. You can interact with them, they would come, they would visit their house. Wherever there is a festival, you can imagine that there will be 10-15 students, your PG student, maybe your MTech student, PhD student, they will be visiting you. Whatever occasion they have, they'll try to visit you. I think, but undergraduates gradually, with this batch size increasing, I think we are finding it difficult. Even we have tried to arrange a lot of open session where we want to understand what is really bugging their mind. But gradually, I think the team of the counseling service, who was coordinating all these subjects, they are also finding it difficult, managing, because students are in their own world, different kind of this thing. And
I just want to add that Harish also was the head counselor, head of counseling, and so is Omkar. Both have been deeply involved in the counseling activities, and the suicide rates, which were at the peak between 2005 and 2008, have gone down considerably now.
in fact, several of our batchmates, kids, they are really coming to us. I think very first day will be their local guardians, and will be so excited because now we also have 1 or 2 kids, so we also think, oh, now my batchmate's kid has come, so now he'll be visiting our house. Maybe for 1 year, probably he's visiting us every 15 days, but gradually we are calling them, when you are coming next. So yes, so they don't mean any disrespect, but they have their own life, and we have to really realize that part.
I think one suggestion for us, maybe for the alumni association, in this regard, like if I go to my college after 25, okay, I like to meet my fellow colleagues, but definitely I would like to meet my teachers also. So maybe those teachers, like seeing how you remember what he said, my teacher said so and so, and seeing their response. I would just good if you invite that faculty also, like, so our teachers were there when they were studying. If they are okay, healthy,
No, they are
enough to
invited.
come,
They're all
I
invited.
get to see anybody, I mean.
No, the mail goes, see, normally there is faculty
But
act.
if you make arrangements for their time, I mean, out of
Oh,
You
their
should take care of their travel to
I mean, for their age and all, maybe they must be, they say, late 70 or
That we have done for the, see, okay, let me, see the batch.
Because I talk to many of these faculty, they express their inability for various reasons. Now, if you invited with a ticket enclosed,
I mean, yeah,
Yes,
that
it
would
would
be
make
out
a-
of it.
But I did that because the batch coordinator for 1990 sent me a list, and we invited 10 people, 3 of them came. I never got any list for this batch. And there's the batch of 2000, there was this 84 batch also. They sent me a list of 20. And similarly, Abhay Bhushan has sent me a list of 20. So, but for this batch, I never received anything. If I receive something, because I don't know, see, we have a list in the Dean of Faculty office. When the batch coordinator tells me, I want you to invite this and this, we pay for their list.
It's easy
You've
for
done
the
it.
SGR, I mean, for 25 years is not, maybe there must be just 20 years.
So I'm putting them all back to the batch. Because I've recently done it for 2 batches. One batch came, they were the 67, they never sent me a list. So I said, fine.
Is this interaction structured? If you're asking for a list, you leave it, or you leave it for the person?
No, we asked the alumni association, they send us, this batch is requesting to get these people, so
yeah,
Madhu Barua came.
why don't you do the reverse way? You essentially suggest that these are the professors which are still wanting to come, and therefore would you like to extend your help towards facilities?
We never knew actually that such a thing is possible.
Yes. So if you remind everyone that you have
See, Navpreet, for example, Pankaj knows Navpreet. Navpreet came and exhaustively for 17 people. So I sent letters to all.
No, all I'm saying is, I think if you have a structure, we're saying, hey, if you'd like to invite faculty, please send us the name.
Yes.
We'll get
Okay.
the
Part of the check is this.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, that it can be
not
very
only
good.
that, perhaps you are in better touch with all the faculty members and
No,
you
that-
know where they are
No,
because
they
many
will
of us
get
are
in
not.
touch and invite them, that's not the issue. I think you will easily get in touch with them and invite them, that's not the issue, but just getting the names, asking some of the coordinator, okay, give us the names and we'll invite them. So that's all that's needed.
So maybe that time that happened, maybe as a part of communication.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So it's built in that your invitation.
In fact, make it automatic, don't give a choice. What is this? We are coming for our memories and they are
I mean, yeah.
Invisible part.
That's okay. In fact, just to for example, I did my schooling from some boarding school, and I kept going there till those teachers who really taught me. The moment the last teacher was gone, now I am not going there because I don't want to see those buildings. I wanted to meet those teachers.
Human beings, not with
Yeah.
everything.
Actually, as I said, I'm right now trying to track the pioneer batch because Abhay Bhushan has sent me a list and we are figuring out where they are. It's difficult, but we'll get it. So I have asked Abhay to help me. He's given me again list of 17. 6 we have tracked where they are. They're all retired, but like PRK Rao, for example, for Navpreet's batch. I called him, he says, no, I'm Prabhat, I'm just bored to travel. Sanjay Bose, on the other hand, was young for the class of 84. He flew in. So we have people, we have teachers who have come in, and the neighborhood teachers, we always invite you and see them in dinner. I think those who are in the neighborhood.
Some teacher is definitely, I am feeling that I can understand what they must be feeling. I mean, I am not an IIT. Still, I know some teachers they are definitely they have to see.
See, there was one class who didn't want to go to the department because this is all our teachers retired. And I had taught them, and I was there with them. They said, "वहाँ तो कोई है नहीं, जिसने हमें पढ़ाया है." So
हम लोग सेवन और सब्जे में गए और वहाँ के चेयर्स को जिस स्थिति में छोड़ा था वैसे ही हमने दिखा. So the point is, the nostalgia has to be captured back by visiting.
No, I think I will request Venkatesh to add this line.
I think explicit reminder.
But I always assume that it is there. Because I keep getting these requests.
There's some way to figure out the availability of the people who taught us. So if you can make that sort of informally available, then I mean,
Yeah, I know.
for example, whenever we have this, just that information we don't have. Whether they're available or not.
Once you get the information nowadays, so many
And we would like to give them also something.
That time Professor G.K. Lal was there, and he had dinner with us, he came and met us. That time, so like whenever best junior is there, that time whoever faculty is available, nearby, near that, I think cannot fly from there.
In tonight's dinner, I believe they must have, their alumni association must have sent to all the neighboring faculty or living around in the campus.
But maybe if they need to transport and all, you have to check that also. Maybe how can every person will come by this. Maybe transport and all, everything you have to check.
If they are not in a position to have that transport and transport, they cannot drive. So, transport can be provided from the IT side.